My name is Kyle Armstrong. I am affiliated with Binghamton University. Resolved: the United States federal government should heavily regulate Internet pornography. The United States federal government should heavily regulate Internet pornography specifically by creating legislation to force Internet service providers to place filters on Internet search engines which would effectively require the users to choose whether or not to receive sexually graphic material. For the purposes of this argument, Internet pornography is defined as visual material accessible on the Internet containing the explicit description or display of sexual organs or activity, intended to stimulate erotic rather than aesthetic or emotional feelings. The proposed regulation is necessary due to the fact that current unregulated Internet pornography is a grievous harm as it poses a threat to males, females, children, the innocence of childhood, and the mental state of those who unintentionally access Internet pornography. In order to properly quell this harm, we must follow Great Britain's example of introducing legislation to regulate access to Internet pornography. Claire Perry, the advisor for Prime Minister of Great Britain David Cameron on child and Internet safety, has found that Internet pornography in its current loosely regulated form is harmful to both males and females. A study conducted by the University of Arkansas found that 90% of Internet pornography contained either verbal or physical aggression against women. This verbal and physical aggression against women leads to an intoxication of the male view of sex in a negative manner. A recent study has shown that the use of Internet pornography and other sexually explicit materials by male college students has led to a lowering of self-worth and an increased likelihood of depression. The same study has found that the use of Internet pornography has the ability to undermine a male's confidence and his ability to properly control his sex drive. Such a lack of confidence, as the study shows, will cause the individual to attract problematic situations. Examples of these problematic situations include inappropriate and potentially violent sexual encounters with the opposite sex. In studies cited by Prime Minister David Cameron, Internet pornography is known to normalize sexual violence against women. The normalization of sexual violence against women in Internet pornography may lead to actual sexual violence being committed against women. This is exampled by the kidnapping, rape, and murder of April Jones in October of 2012 by a man who was addicted to Internet pornography. Researchers have found that a majority of young women blame pornography for what they believe is an increase in sexual harassment and sexual abuse from males. The legislation I propose would remove Internet pornography's ability to threaten both males and females. According to the same study cited by Cameron, the current accessibility of Internet pornography has the potential to corrupt the childhood of those underage who access Internet pornography. Dr. Tanya Byron, a celebrity psychologist employed by the Labour Party of Great Britain to assess the risk that Internet and video pornography pose to underage viewers, found that the current unregulated technology places the concept of childhood under siege and threatens the innocence of children. The implementation of the legislation I propose would effectively remove the threat of the besieged innocence of childhood. The proposed legislation would prevent undesired or accidental access to Internet pornography. This is important as unintentional access of Internet pornography has been associated with clinical depression amongst young Internet users. Unintentional access of Internet pornography has also been shown to cause compulsive and deviant sexual behavior amongst young Internet users. The implementation of the proposed legislation would prevent this. Could be said that the duty to regulate what is viewed on the Internet by children falls onto the parents of those children. However, Perry has accumulated evidence which shows that parents are unable to properly monitor everything that the children do online. This can be further supported by the fact that teenagers have a great deal more energy to thrust into concealing their actions on the Internet than their parents have to investigate their children's actions on the Internet. Thus, it is necessary for the United States federal government to follow the example of Parliament of Great Britain and introduce legislation designed to regulate the obscenity that is freely available to access on the Internet. Such legislation would require Internet service providers to place a filter on search engines that would require users to effectively choose whether or not to receive sexually graphic material. Thank you again. My name is Kyle Armstrong. I am affiliated with Binghamton University.